Will the world go out in a blazing inferno, or will it freeze over into a block of solid ice? That is the stark question the poet Robert Frost posed exactly a century ago in his famous poem, Fire and Ice. On a literal physical level, Frost is talking about extreme heat, and looking at rising global temperatures making cities like Delhi nearly unlivable in the peak of summer, a fiery end seems entirely plausible. Then there's the alternate literal threat. As the world's glaciers continue to melt, we face the very real prospect of catastrophic global flooding, or disrupting ocean currents enough to trigger extreme deep freeze conditions. It is easy to read this poem today and conclude that Frost was some kind of climate prophet, perfectly predicting our modern environmental crises. But focusing solely on the weather means we are missing his point completely. The actual, far more dangerous threat he was warning us about has nothing to do with the atmosphere. Frost uses personification as the bridge from climate science to human psychology. He isn't tracking meteorological data. He's taking non-living elements, fire and ice, and infusing them with intense human emotions. He moves the apocalypse from the world outside to the one inside us. In this context, fire represents human desire. It is intense passion and unchecked, consuming greed. We can see the results of that greed right now. Take the mass deforestation in areas like Hyderabad, where massive tracts of land are aggressively cleared out purely for financial gain. Those destroyed trees lead directly to lower oxygen levels and higher surface temperatures. The human desire for more directly fuels the physical heating of our environment. The earth is burning, yes, but human greed is the hand actively striking the match. Frost then adds a grim secondary warning. If humanity somehow survived the fire of its own greed, it would face a second apocalypse, ice. In Frost's emotional landscape, ice represents the freezing coldness of human indifference. It's a total lack of empathy and deep-seated, calculating hatred. This coldness plays out daily in our society. You see it in the brutal realities of domestic violence, or when family members violently turn on each other to settle petty financial disputes. It manifests in acts of extreme malice, like acid attacks fueled by romantic rejection, where the goal is simply to inflict permanent, lifelong suffering on another person. While the fire of greed destroys our physical environment loudly and visibly, the ice of hatred destroys society quietly, from the inside out. Human hatred acts as a societal deep freeze, chilling our connections until the basic foundation of humanity shatters completely. In Frost's vision, the literal apocalypse and the metaphorical one become the same story. When we scale up the greed that fells a single forest for profit, we see the blueprint for the planet's physical warming. Our internal fire fuels the literal heat, while our ice, the hatred we hold for each other, freezes the societal bonds we need to survive it. The poem begins with another specific literary device, alliteration, using the repeating phrase, "some say." That repeating S sound mimics the soft hiss of a whisper. It paints a picture of a society passively gossiping and debating about its impending doom, rather than actually taking action to stop it. For a student, this is a 10th grade English assignment. For the rest of us, it's a warning that the world's end isn't an external accident. It's a direct result of our own human emotions. To test how well you grasped these concepts, hit the description for a link to a quick multiple-choice quiz. And make sure you subscribe to your brother's channel here before I get lost in the algorithm. Catch you in the next one.